All right, I got a replay review here. We're going to be taking a quick look at this. Pull up the form here. I want to get a better understanding of what to do in certain situations as Tracer. This is going to be Masters 5, mostly only Tracer when she bans. I go cast Ashe, play a couple hours a day, but miss some days every now and then. Want to reach Grandmaster for long-term goals, short-term is just to have fun learning and improving. I feel like there's so much to improve on. Don't know what area of my gameplay to focus on. I feel like I don't know what to do if I'm marked by cast in certain situations. I feel like if he just stares at me, the angle takes both of us out of the fight. I would say that, I guess just to kind of address that question before we look at the gameplay here is, the matchup with Cass is, if he's staring at you on the angle, first off, you have more angle options that you can, pressure tank line if he's just AFK focusing you. But really, Cass is like one of those things that can feel kind of bad, but like Tracer wins that duel the longer that duel goes. Cass punishes errors. Tracer always has the higher ceiling. So it may not be your most fun engage ever, but even with double hinder and even with all the other stuff here, Tracer just beats Cass. She just beats Cass. If you lose the Cass, your movement could have been better. It is more on the Cassidy to get a lucky hinder or get a lucky headshot most times, where you should just be able to force more resources to Cassidy, especially now that he has 250 HP. So let's get your code pulled up here really fast, and then we'll go from there. This is a King's Row game. For a few minutes, there's a Secret Royale, but I'll probably look at King's Row just because it's generally going to be a better map. For Tracer, there's going to be more options for angles and so on, so there's probably going to be a little bit more to learn. Overwatch crashed for me, and we're just now getting back into it, so let's do this really quick. Okay. I think we're good. So King's Row, Tracer, Masters, no particular idea of what we need to work on, just general stuff. Obviously, if there's anything that we don't go over in the forum or in the session, you can always just message me afterwards with any specific clarifying questions, and we'll take a look here. Yeah, let's get rolling. Off short range off angles, move, aim, do things. Let's take a look. Obviously, may not get our Cassidy question answered here, but this is fine. Hold the angle. Just don't get shot by Freya or Pharah. It's good. Space is being compressed. Not a whole lot to say there. That feels kind of bad to get your recall force just because you didn't blink. But this is still fine. And we're going to keep moving on from here. No so we need to be careful. But yeah, just controlling this lane here is really good. Really difficult for Pharah Freya to take space, and a lot of spam is kind of wasted towards you. So, like, one of those things that those characters want to do is take space. We're going to cheat for an engage because we see that she's low. We don't get the kill. It's fine. We're still holding the angle. Okay. Be very careful about chasing that. Thank you. So, just like a minor detail, and I think you know it, like, in the moment, but, like, this is really, really, really not what you want to do. If anything, you drop here and hold the space here and then trade from here. Just because anytime that you extend for a target, even if it's a target that you should quote-unquote be marking, you are going to be putting yourself at a position where you can get your recall forced or even just die, as well as the opportunity cost of not controlling this lane. Even if you had 3 blinks and a recall here, I would absolutely not go for this ball. I would instead focus exclusively on controlling the lane that you're on. It's not bad to mark ball. It's bad to mark ball, excuse me. It's bad to mark ball if he is not on your lane. It's the rule of Overwatch. This is fine. This is fine. Go back, grab the mini, rinse and repeat over and over and over and over again. So there's really nothing to add because the enemy teams really struggle to take space because you've done a really good job marking your angle. Some ugly clip discipline here, something that you've heard me talk about, I'm sure, in reviews, but especially when you're blink engaging, you do need to make sure that you're taking your time on realigning your crosshair halfway through the clip, because at this point in time, as you can see, you've missed most of your bullets, but if you had half of your clip here, or even just aimed 40% better by pausing during the clip, this would be a duel that you could actually potentially win. So the problem here is that we've disengaged out this way, but now we no longer have the blinks and recall to hold the lane safely. And a lot of that's just because we just kind of just dumped our clip without thinking. So just pause your clip, keep focus on it, realign your crosshair, especially on erratically moving targets like Pharah or Freya, and we'll be fine. Now we just need to live. Ooh, I do not like that blink. I do not like that blink. Okay, yeah, okay, so TLDR here is that post-recall, you have to be respectful of the lane that you're controlling. So our blink here needs to be probably disengaging towards cover, and it just getting booped back in feels really, really bad. So like either disengaging towards here, disengaging towards here. The reason you get booped by ball is because post recall, you're still thinking offensively, but I don't see, like right here, no. We need to get back towards cover, restabilize, and control space. Like your post recall behavior has usually been a little bit more respectful than this, but we're getting very sloppy because we just haven't been punished. Like the enemy team has been stuck for a long time, but continue to stick them, continue to keep them in that choke, because if we lose this space here, it's going to feel really bad, and I think we're going to have to. Yeah. And that's all on you. That's literally just because we didn't blink back towards or just walk back towards cover. Control the lane. Post recall, hold space, but don't act as if you have recall and you don't. If there had been a 1 HP target there, I would have got it, but I saw no upside for that risk, and that's going to cost you this lane. And now that that lane is being controlled, that has opened up the door for Freya Farah Ball to do whatever they want, and now we're still stuck in the staging rotation. So this is why we've been under Farah, Freya, Mercy pocketed, Wuyong damage nonsense, and our backline has felt nothing. The second that we make a mistake with holding our space and being resource efficient and holding that lane, we let the enemy team get through the choke, and now they're better than you. And not only are they better than you in terms of offensive output, it's also going to be a lot harder for you to put pressure on them because this architecture at this point is a lot better for them than it is for you. So it's a huge mistake from you. And I think that's like really important to clarify what the mistake is. The mistake was not holding the lane. That was good. The mistake was not, oh, I just forgot about ball. That's fine. It just happens. The mistake was that after you had your resources blown, you kept playing aggressively, and then because you played aggressively, you had to overcompensate when you got punished. Instead of just simply living and holding the angle, you got booped, and then you had to run all the way away, which then means that you end up overextending. I bet if I was coaching your ball, I think he also made a similar error where he committed to an engage where there just wasn't a kill, so you ended up having to roll all the way out. So I think you and your ball have done a really good job until this fight, and you both made the same error. It's fine. Just back up and then hold the space. Don't let them walk forward for free. Same thing with the pulse, I'm gonna say, with the trigger. We're way too much of a full clipper. It's like right here, he's behind a wall, and we just dump a bunch of shots into a car. That hurts, right? Now, you do pause it a little bit, but it's too late. So I'm gonna keep an eye. I don't mind the pulse bomb attempt. I do think this is retakeable if you hit that pulse. I mean, even here, right? Like, your post recall, we really need to put more emphasis on living this, right? It's like we're post recall and there's a Freya shooting at us. Blink out this way, and then please just focus on strafing here. You know, keep your attention on the Farah. I don't think we live this no matter what we do, but like if you're able to get a pick on that Wuyong and then you're able to disengage with your blink even towards here, then you're just gonna be able to hold space, maybe deny res afterwards. Like, there's this tendency that like our uptime post recall is like unaffected, and then we either end up having to lose the lane entirely or we die for it. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm not really pleased with our post recall behavior. There's just a lack of respect, which is getting us killed or meaning that we're losing space. This as well is really sucky too. You've held this rotation here, and we just get distracted. If we're gonna retouch here, it needs to be from the lane that you set up on. Don't chase this Farah. She's just gonna walk back to her team, and you're not gonna have an off angle. Imagine if we'd done this exact same thing from here. Merry Christmas, right? Literally free one clip here. Or if we had the time, I don't think we have the time here, but the retake the top. So our staging here is just completely cheated. This is really poor. A lot of these clips, I mean, even here, right? Post recall behavior, right? This is what we talk about, right? What should our first priority be right now, post recall? Really? You know what I'm saying? Really? No, this right here. Retake the angle, deepen the angle, and then actually set it to do something here, right? This is much better, you know? Much better. It just took us a little bit of... So, like, there's a lot of, like... You know what it is? Okay, so here's what it is. I don't think it's a strategic, deliberate choice. I think a lot of these post-recalls, you're like post-recall, and instead of evaluating your resources or what lane you should be controlling, it's like... You're like a dog chasing a squirrel. The first thing you see immediately gets your attention, no matter whether the target's full, no matter whether the target's 40 meters away, no matter whether there's something more important for you to be putting on your screen, which is just like the next angle. You just pursue that target post-recall with zero thought into what you should be doing. So I don't think it's a purposeful choice. I think there's a lack of a thought process post-recall, and I think that's what's costing you. We'll keep an eye on it, but that's like the 4th time that this has been a problem. This is good. This is fine. Just grab the mini and keep going. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, this is good. Super rewarding if you compress space versus this composition, as we already said, right? Really good. Yeah, see, this is the problem, right? It's this is like the squirreliness. You cannot deal with this Freya. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, unless you vastly out-mechanic this Freya, you cannot do this. She's simply too far away, and she's going to get pocket. This is going to take you at least 2, probably 3 blinks just to close the distance and dodge effectively. So this rotation from you is really fine, because this is, again, compressing all of the threats into one location. You've cleared ball. Good job. But then the next question is, even though this isn't recall, it's like, what's my next lane? What's my next angle? You can't really deepen all the way from here. I mean, you could, but maybe that takes too long. So then if you're going to cross to a lane like here, or cross to here even better, and then go from here, and then go from here to here, and then actually contest this backline. So I'm concerned right now about how we're placing duels, or how we're playing duels. 1, 2 blinks. And then she gets pocketed. And then because you didn't initially set up on a lane, and this is the real problem, because you're like, well, what's the problem? I'm really focusing on my strafing. I can just win it nice and slow. It's risky, first off. That's the number one thing, right? Like, this is not guaranteed committing at this range versus this character. But the other problem, as you've seen, is if you don't immediately get the kill, look at where you are. There is no lane. So post-recall, there is no holding of space. There's a disengage directly in front of the enemy team, first off. And even if you do live, you're going to have to take this long time to rotate all the way back to a lane that doesn't even matter anymore. Whereas if you're holding space here, holding space there, any recall is going to put you back in a spot that you want to be. That's why holding this lane here was so freaking good, just because you did a really good job pressuring from there. And every time you recalled here, well, you just went back up, grabbed a health back, and you were right back where you started. No disengage, no loss, no downtime. You're just there. Here, because you didn't think about your next rotation, your next position, your next angle, you only did the first step, which is how do I walk out from spawn? Congrats. You've recalled back into a position of ineffectiveness. So your initial pressure on the Freya wasn't great, but okay, arguable. But because you didn't prioritize an angle first, you've now recalled into a location where you can no longer do anything after recall. And in fact, you die for it. So that one, I don't even want to blame your post-recall behavior, because I actually think you recognized that time that I don't like this position, and then you went to the right location. But obviously, like, where you were was horrendous. Don't popcorn it, rotate. Don't popcorn it, rotate. Yes. By popcorn, I guess I just mean getting distracted by exploding corn kernels. I don't think that analogy actually works. Don't understand the pulse bomb, to be honest with you. Didn't really need it. Just don't die in your cooking. I mean, it's not that interaction's bad. Like, it can be fine, but it just doesn't... Probably not necessary in this situation, but whatever. Left lane, this is fine. It's cool. Cool stuff. We love it. What do we do here? Our ball's fighting. Ball's engaging. We go in for the lane. This is fine. It's a bit risky, but there is some pressure here, and then we're kind of holding the space here, so this is fine. I don't mind this. Sure. It's cool. This is fine. Like, you're not always gonna flank this deep, but in a map like this versus a composition like this, this is fine. You just took a lane and we did stuff, so yeah. Yeah. This is fine. No criticism. No criticism. Again, with a full clip sometimes, though. Like, if you look at this situation right now, a little bit of a minor mechanical tweak, or a critique. Right here, the only thing that could go wrong here is if you beef your clip. Like, I mean, literally just screw up your tracking, kind of like what we're seeing right here. So you don't need 40 bullets to kill her, right? So the only thing that could screw you over is rushing your clip there. Literally the only thing that could screw you over. So just keep that in mind. I love what you're doing with your positioning here. Like, this is amazing. It's worked out really well, but just keep that in mind. Okay, obviously chose the correct perk. Even after the changes. I don't mind that. It's a little bit of cheating. So if I were to critique this a little bit more, I'd say post-recall behavior. I would prefer in shooting convenience rather than pursuit here. Like, it's more important that you control the Freya and don't die here. If you had recall here, I'd be cool with this, but this is cheating. You're committing deeply with no guarantee of a kill without recall. So just be very careful. Again, that post-recall behavior. Is it bad? No, but it's a little spooky. So that's some good clip discipline. It's not perfect, but it's there. Okay, good stuff. Positioning from you there was like overall, outside of that commit on the wing without recall, was like fine. And again, to clarify, the commit in the wing was basically cheating your angle to go get a kill when you didn't have the resources to do that effectively. That's going to get punished. That has been punished already in this game. So just keep that in mind. All right, hey, we got our Cass. Or no, we got our Sombra. Much more anti-tracer, but also there are way more resources to force. So think about the matchup is in terms of this way. When you're playing versus a fragile composition with characters that fold over, those characters don't really have resources to force as much, but you can just straight up kill them. However, if they are also consistently lethal, right? You don't go, oh, Pharah, Freya, no CDs, I can kill them now, because they could basically still 1-2 tap you, no matter whether they have CDs or not. These characters, you force Bash, you force Whip, you force Suzu, you force Translocator, Virus, and so on. These characters like have pretty significant swings in their consistency of output. And also getting distraction value in these characters is a lot more consistent because they're not likely to one-tap you. Sombra, with the exception of Virus, Hack Virus, she's not going to one-tap you. Brick, not going to one-tap you, right? So you're going to have a lot more uptime versus these characters, but they also, it's going to be important. It's going to be more like a resource trade battle rather than just an immediate, I kill you or you kill me. I like this lane. Just be aware that they're on Sombra, please. I know you've got Pulse Bomb, but I hate this. It's so much more natural to force the Suzu from going, okay, well, they're too far away here, so maybe I should just find a different lane. Do the exact same thing that you did last time. I don't care if they're on Kiriko Brick. This is your lane, my friend. There's nobody on this lane right here. Or if you want to, you can fall back and just off-angle the tank you and force Suzu this way, right? We don't have to force, just because we have recall, doesn't mean that we have to force a full triple blink clip, because this means that you're not going to... Do you see how this hurts your uptime here? Because you can't really do anything now. Like, you can't deepen your angle anymore. The only thing you can do is that, which is ironically still risky, because you don't have recall. And then the irony is, because you don't have recall, you duck to the first cover that you have, but the first cover you have is in the middle of your team. We're not reading score feed here, or kill feed here. We don't care about a scoreboard here. This works. I don't mind pulsing the ball, like conceptually, but this is just really not good from you. Like, this is just really not good. Just take the angle. If nobody's there, deepen the angle or shallow the angle appropriately, and then just play by forcing Suzu from what's convenient on your locale, right? You can force Suzu if you just shoot people and do damage. And right now, all of our damage is too far away because we just didn't like our angle. We just triple blink engaged. Okay. I mean, it's good mechanics, right? We can applaud something. Good pulse bomb. And good target as well. Pulse bombing ball when he's half is really good. It's totally fine. Very consistent. This is more I want to see, right? I don't care if they're on Brig Sombra. This still works. There's nobody marking your angle. The point of running Brig Sombra is so that they don't let you do this, right? They mark this off angle. But this team has picked Brig Sombra and all run down main. So it makes no sense for them to be able to contest your lane. Just because they've picked the magical anti-dive characters doesn't mean that they know how to play those anti-dive characters and how they position themselves. And so you're kind of exploiting that right now. Brig just fell over. That's just a mistake, right? Like, this is definitely where you cheat, quote unquote. In other words, you use your blinks to commit to get the kill. It's totally fine. You have your recall and that person has won, but... Oh, we got a T-posing Brig there for a second. Did you see that? That's funny. Rotate, 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 rotate. Yes, sir. Thank you. Very good. Get him out. Next target. Yeah, get it out. You see how easy it is to force CDs when your rotation's clean, right? Ball's out. Kiriko's out. We rotate a backline. And then we end up not thinking about our next rotation. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This is not easy here. But you know where these guys are. Where's your next rotation from here? I know there's a sense of urgency here, but I'm going to challenge you to remove the urgency from your brain right now. Think patiently. Patience, patience, patience. First things first, you could go in here. This is definitely your worst option because it's kind of directly in front of them, but at least there's cover. Second option, and by far the most safe, consistent option, is to, okay, I force Kiryu out. You could evaluate this position here and play from this angle here, but probably the best thing to do is just to blink to here. Hold the space here. This is your playground. You, by yourself, with 2 or 3 blinks and a recall, can 2v1 these guys. Will you win the 2v1 in terms of kills? Almost certainly not. Do you need to win the 2v1 in terms of kills? Almost certainly not. Ball's dead. Your soldier's alive. Your soldier is in a position where if your ball will either help you and you will kill these guys, or your ball will help your soldier and he will kill her and you will 2v1 these guys. The only thing you couldn't do here is die. And the only reason you did die here is because you didn't think about the next step. So post-recall behavior and the next step in terms of your rotations. And coincidentally, most of my criticisms of your post-recall behavior have been you failing to think about the next step. Where should you be? Thank you. Keep going, 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 keep going. Again, free lane. If the lane is free, you take it. If the lane is not free, you fight it. We talked about that with the Cassie at the start. We've seen it at times with the ball here. This is fine. This is really good. Be patient. See, this is where you're like, oh, I hate this duel, right? Now, obviously, you misplayed this one a little bit, right? We got hindered. Kind of sucks. Like, you get caught in a reload right here, which sucks, and then we're too slow in the reload. But this is still a 1v1 that you should win. That's the really frustrating thing, It's like the same thing with like like the Sombra players get really irritated when they hit Virus on Tracer, and then she just recalls and wins the 1v1 anyway, right? Like recall is such a valuable cooldown, but trading recall for like literally one cooldown in an isolated 1v1 is absolutely worth, whether it's Storm Arrow, Hinder, or whatever else. So you should still win this 1v1. If you lose this 1v1, it's because your movement is bad. Your movement is bad. Like your just movement is bad. This is just really bad. All you need to do here is peek to bait him, blink through him, finish your clip, do not rush your clip, respond to his flip by blinking back forward, and actually blink through him. You did not blink through him, behind him, or force him to move his crosshair once. So you lost the 1v1 because you don't know how to take the Cassidy 1v1. You need to get into with a friend in a 1v1 arena and practice this 1v1 until you can do it with your eyes closed. Alternatively, you need to take this as an opportunity to practice, and whenever you have a resource advantage or even resources with Cassidy and he doesn't have pocket, you need to practice taking this 1v1. You're scared and it shows. You're playing this one really poorly despite having every single advantage that you could possibly need. And now it's like, I mean, I guess we can keep looking here, but like this is really, really disastrous because now he's in a location where it's really hard for him, right? And you don't have your recall, so I mean, what are you supposed to do? So I look at this and I'm like, okay, yeah, this could be annoying, right? But this would also be less annoying if you entered these with 3 blinks, I will say. So where could you rotate from here? Question. Should you take this lane? Should you rotate across from here? Okay, if you do take this lane, how should you approach it? Well, you should probably wait a second and then peek when you have 2 blinks. I mean, he's sitting on you, but you notice that he's still 1. Like, he can still die here. I mean, what the frick is that clip? What on earth are we pulsing? I mean, we got him, I guess, but that was questionable. Did our Sombra soldier helix himself? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was like, why did he kill himself? It's just poor mechanics. And the other thing as well is it's like, this location is just not great for you because everything involves like a 50-meter gap close. That's why you needed to win this one. This is like Dreambow land for you, right? So if you're playing in wide open space and struggling versus Kaskiri, yeah, that's kind of expected, you know? Like that's just not going to be your advantage there. So you failed when you had the disadvantage or the advantage, and now he's not failing when he had the advantage. You get what I'm saying? So don't look at that and be like, oh, it feels so bad. Yeah, it's supposed to feel bad. It's supposed to feel bad. Oh, this is so sloppy. Immediately, what do? You know, you see this and you're like, I can't shoot this. You know, like, what's the point, right? What's the point of this? What's the point, right? They'll be the dog with the squirrel, you know? What's the next step? What's the next step, right? Is it here? Is it here? Do you want to, you know, chill for a couple blinks and cross the street? Probably not. Probably just take the angle here, right? But you just can't win this, right? Like, again, it's a map problem here. But the solution to the map problem is not to sit there and be like, well, this is good enough damage, I guess. It's not. And now we're post-recall, and now we don't have a lane. Gotta be really careful here. Okay. Probably worth to get the kill, I think. Really strange movement from you. Really strange movement. You trust your strafing more than I think you should. Like, you have 2.5 blinks here. There's no way that I don't blink this. Like, there's just 0 way that I don't blink this. You get a couple bullets in, blink through here, finish a couple of her clips. She's going to turn, blink through her again, fit in a melee, finish your clip, duck back behind the corner, maybe grab the mini or just bait force her. Like, you can use cover as a way to reload and then degenerate your blinks back a little bit. And then from there, you can blink through her again, shoot, blink through her again, melee again. Then we crouch for 1 second, and then we recall. You know, it's like, this is like not just a tracking problem. Like, there's a clear trigger discipline problem as well. But you're over-prioritizing your blinks, and then ironically, you blink during a reload instead of just strafing or ducking behind cover. So you're doing all this blink dancing when you didn't have any bullets to spend. You notice that? So this is just, I think this is probably why you really struggle with maybe the Cassidy 1v1. I don't want to read too much into it, but let's put it this way. That's how you beat carries. That's how you beat Cassidy's. You don't beat them whether you're DPS, you know? So if you're not comfortable moving, blinking, and dodging, that needs to be your #1 priority in these matchups, to just focus on practicing them. And if you don't know how to practice, I don't care. Go do it. Just go do it. Like, if you're not sure, should I blink first, or should I do 20 bullets and then should I blink? It doesn't matter. Like, it's not a science, it's an art, right? There's definitely some good and bad things that you can do, but you just need more reps. So you need to go into a game, and you just need to really practice your movement versus all characters, not just Cassidy's Curious, but versus everybody, versus Freya's. You know, like right here, when you shoot this, how should you take this duel right now? How should you use your blinks? You know, my first thought is that it's really important that you hit her quick scope timing. She basically is hit scan in terms of the projectile speed and how fast she charges up. So it's probably literally like shoot like 5 bullets, and then you must blink or duck behind a corner. So that was okay. That was good. I don't know why you dropped. It's just like it happens. It really happens. The reason why I'm fixating on this is not the first time that this has happened, right? You got your blinks. You got to be respectful. Is this lucky? Yeah, of course it's lucky for her, right? Is it unlucky for you? Of course it's unlucky for you, but, you know, hold the angle. Hold the angle. So to clarify what I mean by dropping, you're like, oh, but the Freya's going to push me. All right. Well, you answer that question yourself. Freya's going to push you here. What should you do? You've got a great lane here. Got a great angle. Everybody's thinking about you. What should you do? All right, I'm going to let you sit on that. You know, I'm not going to even give you the answer there. It's really important you find that next lane, the next angle. So what should you have done? I don't think there's even one choice there. Something to consider. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, just need to be careful because your team's in spawn, so just be passive here and wait. Probably worth cheating there. I mean, you saw he was low, but also if you had not cheated there, it still would have worked. Okay, post-recall behavior, what do you do? Your blinks are so mid. I want you to coach yourself here. So we're going to do the exact same thing. If I'm going to be critical, I'm going to tell you how to improve things. In your VOD review, I want you to look right now. What should I do with my blinks here? Right now. Like this blink right here. What do you do? You're in the middle of a reload. Okay. What about that blink? What about this blink? There's a real lack of lateral and or 180 movement in terms of forcing people to move. You understand? Real problem with that. Keep an eye on that. And there's also a real lack of timing your reloads around cover usage and so on. I'm not saying you always have to have cover with reloads, but it is a priority whenever you can. Something to keep an eye on. So just in general, like your use of cover and your use of blinks and duels is causing you issues. Your aim's okay. The initial angles that you're taking are also like quite good, like you're choosing the right lane. It's the next rotation to the next position that's quite bad, and then how you're using your blinks and movement. Like even right now, like you just like this is insane that you were shooting that there. You cannot do that. You need to duck and bait the shot and then duck behind and then maybe finish the clip afterwards. Because remember, your lethality is consistent. Hers is not. Okay, we're gonna hold on here, I think. Let's look at a little bit more here. As always, just let me know if you have any questions afterwards. But I catch myself being a little bit more harsh in the replay reviews. So just a heads up that if I'm coming across that way, you know, it's not because you're playing poorly or doing bad or, you know, a bad Masters. This is fine. This is exactly what you'd expect from a low mid-Masters Tracer player. This is good Tracer. But because I think there's nobody else in that voice, I tend to just be a lot more blunt, a lot more direct. So don't take this the wrong way. You're doing a fine job. What are you doing, you blithering idiot? That's a joke. But yeah, you really should be thinking about your next rotation here. You know, like what's the next step here? Like we're not going to go through here, right? Like just walk up the stairs. Walk up the stairs, fight anybody who's here, and then go from here. If your intention is to go through the hotel here, then you really should not be staging from here. The best way to start from hotel, unironically, I wonder if there's a better way. I feel like the best way is to do something like blink through to here, and then rotate across to here, drop flank this way. That's probably like, it takes some setup, but it's really consistent. And if you really want to be lazy, you can just blink from here, but you don't want to give, why are we peeking here, you know? Like, what's the plan, you know? What's the next step? I think you're forcing left too hard here. If they're like already in this room, it can feel very hard to attack small contested space as Tracer if there's already somebody there. So you might as well just take the hard flank, go from here, do the whole 9 yards, you know, and then when you get to here, then we can kind of be nice and cozy. I think we're forcing this a little too much, and what that means is that our ball and our team has had to take kind of the brunt because we've really not done anything just yet. Sure. Sure. Post recall behavior, just find cover and hold the lane. You can chase here, but you just have to be careful, right? We've been fine there just to mark the ball, mark the Tracer. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. Go back to your lane, go back to your lane, go right back to here. Remember, you don't even, a lot of the times with Tracer, if you just set yourself up in a good angle, opportunities will present themselves. Don't worry about chasing. Like right now we're chasing. If we go here and there's nobody here, well then we can deal with the Cassidy. Well, there's nobody Cassidy. Okay, well then I'm going to off-angle the Lucius to prevent his engage. You get what I'm saying? Just something to consider. I'm not saying this is bad, but I think what's happening is you're having to find opportunities because you're not confident in the lanes that you're controlling. And so even when you secure the kill, do you notice that doesn't put you in a good spot? And then once again, we're playing popcorn here, where we're chasing targets. And because we had to use blinks to pursue the Tracer, we're not really in a good position to actually deal with the Tracer. So if you ever feel like I chase a target and then I don't know what to do afterwards, it's because we're not trusting lane theory. We're popcorning. Go kill that target. Oh no, I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere. Crap. I'm gonna go chase this target. Oh, now I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and I had to use blinks to get there. Just trust the lane. And when you do that, you'll have more consistent output of pressure. In addition to, you will have more resources going into duels because you didn't have to use the resource to get to the target. It was already there. Like right here, everything is Tracer dueling. Everything is Tracer dueling. And then ball. But I don't like turning away from Tracer until you saw the Tracer fully disengaged. Like, we're getting distracted. Like, if we'd been more attentive to this, we could have held this lane for at least a little bit longer, right? Maybe we get cleared out, that's fine. But we could have at least held space more permanently, potentially. Yeah? I don't like that blink, or I don't like that recall. I think you could have blinked that one. Let's see. Could you? Yeah, you could have blinked that one. It's fine. Blink this one, grab the mini, you'll be okay. Because it keeps happening, right? This is why I don't like brute forcing. This is because we keep recalling back inside of our team. Rotate to here, take the free lane, or take the lane that's more open for you to contest, and then go from there. What's your next lane? Don't go backwards. Please don't go backwards. You must move forward. We have to progress. If you chase this ball, he rolls out, and now look at where we are, you know? We're really playing popcorn ball. Or ball Tracer. I guess he just messes up his grapple. Like, why did he not get out? Like, that's actually kind of criminal for him. What happens here? Yeah, he just screws up his grapple. That's like the only reason this is even remotely punishable. Do you see what I'm saying when I'm talking about lane theory? It's choosing a lane, a side, and fighting for space on that side, and if it's uncontested, you deepen your rotate. We talked about a lot about that on defense. It's why your first defense was so freaking good, but it's exactly the problem that we have here. It's sometimes why things work and sometimes why things don't work, because it depends on whether the enemy team chooses to fight in your spot. Because if they don't, you're fricked. Hold the lane. Fight the Tracer. Thank you. And then you can deepen your angle to the left here. I prefer to go left here. It's more cover. Too open, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's the same crap with you, right? So from here, you have two blinks. You're leaning left side. Where do you go from here? We go to here. And then what do we do from here? Well, we walk forward. And then what do? Well, we shoot ball. Okay, then we can follow up here. Okay, my ball died. So what do? Well, frankly, if you have 3 blinks and a recall here, you should hold here. Don't let them do this. Your team will handle this. Don't let them do this. Alternatively, this is where we are. Do you see the difference in value from that position? This position is because you didn't set up on controlling a lane or controlling space. You pursued targets. You pursued ball. And now we're stuck literally, almost literally doing nothing. I mean, I guess we did something there, but most of them using something. Does that make sense? Huge, huge problem. So post-recall behavior, yeah, sure. That's really important as well. But in terms of like, okay, how much space can I control depending on the resources I have? But you have to understand lane theory. You must understand lane theory. You take a right, you deepen right, you shallow right. You take a left, you deepen left, you shallow left. And if you cheat, in other words, you commit your resources to cross the map, you need a pretty darn good reason to do so. And right now, we're just basically chasing targets without controlling lanes, without controlling space, which is both hurting our downtime, hurting our uptime, but also making that when we're actually shooting things, it's a lot more risky because we don't have the resources for it. Beyond that, in terms of mechanics, a little bit of trigger discipline, we talked about that, those mid-clip disciplines, but I think just in general being more thoughtful about your blinks would be really, really important, because you look grossly uncomfortable in some of these duels in terms of how you're using your reloads, how you're using your blinks to cover, how you're using your 180s, and that's going to take some more conscious practice. Initial setups are fine. You look pretty comfortable moving around and aiming. If you have any specific questions, just shoot me a message. Cheers.